Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last. Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, be sure to go to podsurvey.com to take a quick survey to help us get some advertisers and to help us keep this podcast free. That's podsurvey.com/last. Really helps us out a lot. We appreciate every single one of you.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Can I just start off by saying, number one, that Hitler just wasn't any fun.
No fun.
You know, like truly not any fun. And my question is that at some point in the middle of the rally, when they're holding the flags and everyone's marching in swastika shape, does no one turn to someone else and someone like, hey man, I think that maybe we're the bad guys. I think we're the bad ones.
Do bad guys march this well, though? I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't know.
I'm pretty certain that when I look at the reels of the Americans, they're laughing and playing cards.
Hitler, I found one. No! Take him away, will you? Very good. I'll go back to my bread store.
Here you go. Here's your chocolate. Your reward for Jew sniffing.
Ooh! Hitler and the Occult. All right, welcome to the show. That's Marcus Parks. I'm Ben Kissel. Today's episode is great.
We're studying the occult connections of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party.
Yeah.
And basically their occult origins.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of, hooky, spooky, dumb shit connected to the occult origins of the Nazis. Between this
Hooky, spooky, dumb shit.
But we'll talk about this stuff, like possible reptilian influence, them talking with UFOs and stuff like that. But actually, in real life, the real occult beginnings of the Nazi Party are so terrifying and so real and chilling that that's enough. We don't need the conspiracy side.
One could almost describe them as hooky, spooky, dumb shit. Yes.
I mean, a lot of the stuff, yes, there is a very real basis for the Nazi Party as far as occultism goes. Some of this stuff here, I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of a caveat on this.
Uh-oh.
A lot of this stuff, some of this stuff may be true, but I wouldn't go write in a book report about it.
Yeah. Don't bring this into your American history class next week. I would say, the last podcast guy said that Hitler could levitate at any given Wednesday.
But that's actually entirely true. I would say for this episode, usually you can take this podcast as gospel.
Oh, yeah.
The topic, believe it or not, a little sensitive.
And the other thing, too, is that we are not going to necessarily break new ground in the Nazi world because, a lot of people have covered them. But again, I just want to reiterate it again. They were not fun. They're not funny guys. They're not funny, cool guys.
No. Well-dressed Hugo Boss. Was it Hugo that dressed him?
Yes, it was.
I got to say, they looked good. And another thing about the Nazis, okay? Yes, how much bad shit they did. But think about the good things they gave us.
Such as
the VW Bug.
Yeah.
I don't like... It's a terrible car, but it's cute. And the girl I had a crush on in college drove one, and I loved it. I thought it was really cute.
The VW Bug is amazing technology, and it proves that the Germans knew how to get a lot of people into what looked like a small space.
Exactly.
Because my head, I got a foot leeway in there when I'm sitting down.
Because I guess they did the same sort of illusion at Auschwitz when that made that tiny shower get 50 people in there, huh?
And now we have to have a mourning moment, and All right. And that was very sad and that was awful.
Yes.
I don't like libraries. Germans got rid of those. So that's good. Books, I don't read them. Burn them.
Also,
Germans did that.
another good thing that the Nazis did were those pantsuits.
Sure.
Were pretty fucking tight looking.
Yep. I watched an old documentary about the Nazis, and I'm like, what are all those cool Williamsburg hipsters doing? Fashion forward.
Boy, I had a bit of a time researching on this one because I would go down certain roads on the internet. Well, first of all, I was going to base a lot of this stuff.
tiptoe around.
I know.
your
I
research.
wonder. I wish that you could put something on your computer or your Google searches, that just lets the NSA know that it's just like doing research. You know, I disagree with all this.
You mean
stuff.
like the Pete Townsend filter?
Oh yes, the pedophile Pete Townsend. No, I was doing research on little boys' wieners for a book I was writing.
It's called Little Boys Wieners. Oh, how I love to suck them.
It's an under the coffee table book. That's where I suck them. See.
Well, I did find there were a lot of holes that I went down where I would be following a Nazi occult hole, and it sounded just absolutely fucking fascinating. And then I'd find out it was a campaign for a tabletop role-playing game. That happened 3 separate times.
There's tabletop role-playing games involving Nazis?
Call of Cthulhu, yeah. Call of Cthulhu. It's called Delta Green.
You're also just going to straight up see the Nazi Party is the absolute darkest side of nerddom run rampant.
Oh, nerdom.
These are fucking nerds.
Yeah.
They are pieces of shit, party poopers. They're straight up party poopers.
Oh, yeah.
And they are the guys that will go, like you saw in high school, that would bring their homework to a party. It's like all that Hitler wanted. He got everybody together. They got them in uniforms.
Right.
They got them flags. It was like a risk game.
It really was.
Run amok.
And that's why Dylan, and we bring up the Columbine all the time, but that's why those nerds loved him so much too. Big old trench coats and wearing eye makeup and whatnot.
I swear, we gave them what they were looking for, and so I want to say, fuck the Nazis. We got them right in the pants.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we did.
And the nerds attract more nerds because I had a book that I was extremely excited about called The Spear of Destiny. And
yes.
It was called The Spear of Destiny, and I was reading it, and it was fantastic. And it was all based around the fact that this guy, Steiner, was a friend of Hitler's, and that Hitler had
And
told
again, it just
Stein...
seems like it's a real loose thing to call Hitler's friend. I don't know if he had many friends.
Well,
he had a couple.
People were
I
just
think he-
scared to not say,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got a stupid mustache. Like they were trying not to say that, blurt that out loud, or step on his shoes.
I mean, as far as jokes go, I guarantee you Hitler got the most laughs out of anybody in Germany. Yeah. He was crushed.
Hitler, that's such an amazing premise. Not hacky at all. Let me tell you, this is about, isn't it weird when you go into an elevator and you are with someone else and it's so awkward. It's so awkward to say hello to them.
Hey, Hitler, tell me that one again about how women drive versus how guys drive.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When women, they drive the car, it's, oof, let me put on makeup. Let me, oof, I sit in period blood. Wait a second, let me get this ruler. I have to measure your nose.
But I laughed.
I laughed, Hitler.
This guy, Stein, was supposed to have known Hitler, and he was supposed to have gone over to England to be Winston Churchill's right-hand man as far as the occult workings of Hitler's mind. But I did a bit of research on the guy that wrote this book, and who would have thought that a guy named fucking Trevor Ravenscroft would be unreliable?
Trevor
But
Ravenscroft. At least he kept his first name.
Maybe.
But Trevor, when pressed, he said that he was a student underneath this Steiner guy, and that Steiner was writing this book when he died.
And the Spear of Destiny, just to catch people up, is what they believed is a powerful talisman that Hitler had, which was a spear that was used to cut the side of Jesus Christ. We're going to go into further detail with it.
Yeah, we're going to go into further detail with it. But this guy, Ravenscroft, was pressed in an interview when some of Stein's family members said, I've never heard of Trevor Ravenscroft.
Red flag.
I never heard of this guy. I don't know. No, he studied with my husband for how long? Absolutely not. No.
And you
he shows up at
remember
the house and he's like, "It is I, Trevor Ravenscroft," and he's got like a velvet fucking cape on and a fedora.
Well,
Will you join my guild in World of Warcraft? I called it Galadriel's Galadriel.
yeah, you remember a Ravenscroft. If you ever meet a Ravenscroft, you'll remember.
Oh, you'll remember.
Yeah, because he'll give you a single red rose, and he'll tell you to meet him by the graveyard of the crossstones of midnight.
Ooh, that's great. It's like The Bachelor, but you don't want to actually marry him.
Well, it turns out that this Steiner guy not only was not Hitler's close friend, but had only seen him once at a hotel in 1940, but Trevor Ravenscroft never knew Steiner, and when pressed in the interview, he said, "Well, I do kind of know him. I've been talking to him through a medium."
And that's kind of like how I am really close friends with Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him. I saw him once in a restaurant, and I've been talking to the faucet and addressing it as it's Al Sharpton.
Well, that's nice. I'm sure the faucet doesn't appreciate the negative things you say to
so
him.
now let's start going back and seeing some of the skooky pooky fucking eggs that the Nazi Party came from, and let's start with one of our favorite songs, one of your favorite songs.
Why is it mine? You know.
Und das Streik. I can just see your Opa and your grandmother dancing together at the wedding.
Yeah. Sweet. Thank you. Very nice, Henry. Your father was an NYPD officer who was a racist.
Only this job made him racist. There it is. Just the regal, the flags.
Yeah.
I could see the flags. Oh, it'd be so pretty if it wasn't so evil. Oh, you can even. Oh, I just want to say. Oh, the colors are nice. I don't know. Oh, it's just. Oh, the boots are so shiny.
Always gotta be shiny.
We're listening to Richard Wagner right now.
Now, this was the fucking pop beats that Hitler did his fucking beatbox dancing to back in the old 1920s.
Oh, yeah, and we'll get more into Hitler's love of Wagner and how Wagner, one of the best composers and opera writers in the history of man, helped to inspire the Nazi Party. Now, the Nazi belief system, an amalgam, let's call it a hodgepodge.
An amalgam.
It's an amalgam. A Jim Jumble.
A Jim Jumble,
It's a Jim Jumble. It was based mostly in Teutonic mythology, ancient German mythology, but it also brought in other things such as Tibetan beliefs. It brought in certain Atlantean beliefs, and their entire goal was to create a new religion, a religion of blood, as they called it.
And they call it the original religion of blood because basically it kind of spurred off. There's several different beginnings of it. You know, you have the Atlantean, the idea that the Teutonic people came from Atlantis.
What do these Teutonic people look like? If one was to show up right now,
I think I'm sitting next to one.
they look like me. Beautiful, red-headed, kind of soggy-looking bodies.
Honestly, no. You would be forced to be working in some sort of factory. You wouldn't be killed, but you would definitely use your strength. But your half beast type blood would probably be used to lift boxes.
Yeah,
That's
you would
terrible.
be safe from the camps.
But you could do so much more with half beast type blood.
No, you'd be a part of the Auchenschlufen.
Yes.
Well, it sounds kind of fun.
And so the idea is that the religion of blood basically came from about keeping that blood pure, that pure white, blonde hair, blue eye, up to light brown, pale complexion. And at the very beginning, when we'll go into deeper detail, but we came from the Atlantans. We did, not me. I'm Polish. All right, I had your grandfather's fucking shoelaces tickling my grandfather's back in the middle of Poland back in the day. I was
I'm sure the Zabrowskis found a way to get out of it, like you found a way to get out of the subway by doing a Chris Farley
We
impression.
worked on the radio doing vaudeville.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you, man. My ancestors were fighting in World War I. I had two great-great-grandfathers fighting in the Great War against the Kaiser.
We got his right in the pants. But the Atlantans were a group of space white people that came that were like 9 feet tall, blonde as the sun, and super psychic. They could jump like 100 feet. And basically they said over time, the the muddling of the race, quote unquote, is what the reason why white people are no longer psychic.
So they look like Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's a very good way of putting it. So let's talk about the mood of Germany.
It was sour.
It was very sour in the 1890s. Let's go back down to the 1890s to the beginning of the Second German Reich.
Ooh.
This would be the Germany that was led by Kaiser Wilhelm, and this is also a Germany that was coming out of the aristocracy from land-owning aristocrats into the Industrial Revolution. Now, when the Industrial Revolution came, all of a sudden, all of these hoity-toity aristocrats who were able to keep the peasants down,
All right.
now had all of their power taken away from them
because
by
the cities
industrialists.
because the cities became like slums. It used to be that only the fancy people went to the cities, but now it's like Dieter's von Dilsdark fucking dildo company that used to be made in this tiny fucking hut in Korkslock, and now as being made in a factory in the middle of Berlin. And so people are moving to the cities now to basically follow their jobs.
Well, there's always ebbs and flows with like White Flight, and now
I remember when I first made my first dildo for Marlis. It was 9 feet long, and it was made from a felled York tree. And it was so coarse. But just the grip of my sweet Merle's sweet vagina, it smoothed the dildo to a polished hue.
You put it in women to smooth it like an old school pencil sharpener.
It's so smooth. Never change the way you do it. In my world, come back.
I will say, out of all the products that the Germans have created, I would not trust them in the dildo game.
Oh, God.
They were sensitive enough.
They were not looking to make orgasms.
No. Screams, though, yes.
So that is why the aristocracy was not happy in this time. As far as the lower classes went, there was an influx of Slavic people at this time because Austria was not part of the Germanic peoples at this time. It was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So in comes the Slavic people, and with that, the hatred of the darker races. And the Slavic people, and this is very important, the Slavic people were heavily backed by the Catholic Church, making the Catholic Church something that the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Germanic people came to hate, looking for a third way.
That was the other one of the only things that the Nazi Party did right, was basically canceling Christmas. They canceled Christmas, and they got rid of the Jesus element of Christmas and made it a festival of lights where people just gave presents and fucking got drunk. So and they brought back the summer solstice parades.
They perfected Christmas then. They got rid of the baby Jesus. I will say, Slavic. It's a tough people to really get behind. The name, they have a rough name.
They have a rich history. They full of people. The folklore. You got Stone Soup came from that place.
Well, I love Stone
the Golem came from that place.
Yeah, Stone Soup will fill you up for a couple of months.
So what came from this period in time, especially from the peasants, was something called Lebensreform, which was a return to nature. Very hippy-dippy type stuff. They were vegetarians. They believed in communal living. It was very much a return to nature type of movement.
Which is just like the exact opposite. I mean, like, the Nazis were just... What comes out of this...
and by the way, this is a full 30, 40 years before the Nazi Party even began.
Basically, they were on the right track. Germany was on the right track to be like, we're gonna be cool and modern and like have like big cities filled with all different cultures. We're gonna be like, free love, have a good time. And it's just like, they let them win. They let the bad guys win.
They let the hippies win.
No, they didn't. The hippies got stumped like they do. Yeah. Like the hippies got stumped.
Sure.
Yeah. The reason why we're starting so far back, and the reason why we're giving you guys this background information, because in my opinion, the occult roots of the Nazi Party, it's the only thing that makes Nazi Germany make sense.
Yeah, because then you see, because honestly, when I was researching it, when I was watching the videos that we were sending back and forth, this thing sends a chill up my spine, because when you watch the Nuremberg rallies from afar, and you watch the philosophy go from this esoteric backwards occult stuff to actual practice, you see the madness that was happening. It was a group fucking delirium that made people do what they did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so these people, the people in the lower class, they started to form cults, essentially, based around astrology, based around nature. And the aristocracy, they started to form secret societies based around the writings of various mystics at the time, the most influential of which was Madame Helena Blavatsky.
Now, she was a
cool.
real Kathy Bates.
Yeah, Blavatsky.
Yeah.
I love a good Blavatsky.
She was like, I think that literally the term broad was built on this one.
Possibly. She seems like a strong woman.
She was a Russian philosopher and occultist, and she established a research and publishing institute called the Theosophical Society. She defined theosophy as
The archaic wisdom religion, the esoteric doctrine once known in every ancient country having claims to civilization.
Wow, it sounds exciting.
and one of the main purposes of the Theosophical Society was
To form a nucleus of the universal brotherhood of humanity without distinction of race, creed, sex, caste, or color, which is the exact opposite of what she ended up doing.
Yeah, it's a little bit ironic there.
Well, Blavatsky, she gets a bad rap for being I think what Blavatsky is, like, how we wouldn't have Nickelback if we didn't have Nirvana?
Sure.
Blavatsky's like Nirvana.
I don't know, but then some of this stuff is straight up racist.
Right.
This is the problem with all occult teachings, is that
Yeah.
as soon as you get to it's the beginning is always really cool, you'll see, and then by the time you get to the seventh race, it's always white people, and they're
Always.
coming to save the day,
Right.
and it's always in a way that you're like, but that's not... Killing everybody isn't necessarily
I mean, I think-
saving the day, right?
Yeah,
wasn't
there's sort of a Stephen King sort of issue with a lot of the occult. They just don't know how to end the book.
Yes.
And so they're
It
just
always
like,
falls
what
out.
are we going to do? And then M. Night Shyamalan's like, make them sleeping the whole time. And then Stephen King is like, I don't, make them, the Jews were bad. Something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
They just find
Blavatsky
something
needed to
ridiculous.
work on that third act.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So in 1888, she goes to Tibet, and she's taken underground under a ancient Tibetan temple to see a sacred text called the Secret Doctrine, which describes the hidden elect, the Great White Brotherhood.
You know what I always like about all of these documents that always say that how white people are super superior? They're always super secret and no one else can see them. It's always like, no, they're in it's in the other room, but you can't see it. But I'll tell you exactly what I saw. Now, it was we got a lot of Kate Hudson's going on.
Wow.
Mormonism, the golden plates and all that.
Oh, yeah.
It's key. Yeah. Secrets are the key to all religions and all occults.
That's right.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Summer schedules can get busy fast with camps, vacations, sports, family time. And, every single time Carmi eats a block of dark chocolate, we got to take her to the emergency room. You know how much time that takes. All right, IXL makes it easy to keep learning part of the routine in just a few minutes a day. IXL is an award-winning online learning platform that helps kids truly understand what they're learning, whether they're building math confidence, strengthening reading and writing skills, or reviewing science concepts. From pre-K through 12th grade, IXL offers personalized, interactive learning that adapts to each child's level and pace, which is great because Carmi has been really slow in biology, and Wendy has really been struggling with American history, mostly just because she doesn't agree with the way it's being taught. So it's really important. You make an impact on your child's learning. Wendy, as soon as she gets her chicken, she is ready for all of her lessons. And Carmi just really has to eat 5 or 6 bites of liver, beef liver, chicken liver, and then she can really get down to, I'm hoping this is the year she reads To Kill a Mockingbird. So really, IXL, thank you. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And Last Podcast on the Left listeners can get an exclusive 20% off at IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/left. Visit IXL.com/left to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price.
Hey there, everybody. Is your cell phone bill too much money? Are you getting that bill and you're like, hey, what is this? I can't believe for what? For 5G? Are you crazy right now? $100? I don't even barely got any bars when I'm just sitting in my living room. Okay? You don't have to deal with that anymore. Are you ready for this? $15 a month. That's right. $15 a month on Mint Mobile. Yeah, baby. Get their wireless plan. Because they're just sitting there on the T-Mobile 5G network, and it's just $15. Your whole life, you're just paying all this money every month. You're like, why? Where's it going? It's going to these phone companies that are robbing you. So go to Mint Mobile. Let them help you talk to your mom. So get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when the network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabytes hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
She claimed constant telepathic communication with these hidden masters who would reveal to her the occult history of the human race. They revealed to her 7 races, 5 of them right here. You've got the astral race, which is the highest form.
Which is where we started from.
Yeah, that's where we started from. Then you've got the Hyperborean race, who they were a lost race from a vanished continent.
Which is kind of what Plato and Aristotle talk about, how like there was a land of giants. And basically the astral... Like the way to sort of say it is that basically we showed up as a bunch of spirit energy through. Do you remember that giant, Jewish star on Mars that everyone filtered through?
Yeah,
like all the souls, and they all got shot off to Earth. That's where it all started.
Okay,
like in Mario World.
It's called like a tetrahedron. I forget what it's called. Is the 3-dimensional Jewish star?
Yeah,
that was used
Star
as
David.
Star David used as a hyperdimensional traveling device, and they all shot to Earth, and they came in this astral form, and then they solidified into the Hyperborean race. They developed atomic power and blew up their own continent, essentially.
Okay.
That is that is Mario Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah, that is exactly what they do in Mario Galaxy. It's all coming together.
Then there's the Lemurians.
They sound terrible.
They interbred with animals and eventually disappeared.
I see.
Yeah, but then they also, but that also just, they flip it to being like, they started having sex with people who didn't have blonde hair.
Yeah, exactly. Then there were the Atlanteans. The Atlanteans, of course, psychics, powered by a mysterious energy source, killed by a flood. We did a whole episode on Atlantis that you can go listen to. And then finally, there was what she called the race of hope. The Aryans.
Oh. Who are those guys?
I don't know any.
And also
interesting.
This is also through her writings is where it's really started coming up the first use of the Germanic version of the swastika started happening, which was the symbol, which is supposed to be it was like a symbol of power. It was a symbol of victory, over all. And she said that the Aryans, she connected a symbol to each one of these races, and she connected the swastika to the Aryans.
So they just co-opted it, because that's the thing about the swastika. It had existed far before the Nazis and all of this.
It's just such a hard argument to make at a party. You know what I mean?
Right.
The swastika isn't really all that
bed.
I mean, technically the guitar existed too, but then Jimi Hendrix really brought it to life, you know?
Yeah, we'll get into a lot of the occult beliefs of the occult origins of the swastika on our second episode. But the swastika, there's a lot behind that one. It's a fascinating symbol. But Madame Blavatsky...
Also a rough thing to say out of context, but within the podcast, it's fine.
Within the podcast, it is a fascinating symbol. So Madame Blavatsky, she inspired a guy named Guido von List.
Now, Guido von List also invented the leather jacket.
Why?
And he wore nothing but a wife beater, and he was just hanging outside a malt shop flipping a coin.
Hey, look at my abs. Hey, look at my. I can bounce it on my abs.
I call this the scenario. Huh?
Oh.
Hey.
Of course, he does sound like he must look like the situation. From
That's what I mean. That's what I'm doing. Is
right,
a play on that.
Play on that. Right. Before the situation, there was the scenario. Before that, there was the.
There was never an ab.
Right, never. Not until Guido von List came around, invented the first ab.
Austrian-German nationalist, ultra-nationalist Guido von List. He cherry-picked from Madame Blavatsky's some Madame Blavatsky's teachings, and he mixed the theosophical doctrine on the evolution of humanity and on the root races, you know, the Aryans and whatnot, and he combined that with nationalistic and fascist ideas, i.e. the Germans are the Aryan races, because what Madame Blavatsky actually says that she said that the Aryan races, they originated in Persia.
Yes.
That they originated somewhere else, but Guido von List looked at Madame Blavatsky. He's like, nah, actually, it's Norway. It's Norway.
It's Norway.
Was Blavatsky alive during the time Guido was alive, or did he take her teachings after she left?
I think that she was dead.
Yeah.
Because she wrote that in the 1880s, and Guido came by what? What was this? 1910s?
Yeah. Well, this was like late 1800s, early 1900s.
So she wasn't there to defend her work
she
and be
was
like,
not,
I did not mean that we should kill all the people who don't have blonde hair.
No.
But also,
Okay.
because it goes back into the other philosophies and the other ideas that the Sumerians talk about it, is that white people just showed up in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's what they say, is that white people showed up and they came from space.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. If you look at people in the Middle East, there's a lot of very white-looking individuals there, especially in Iran and places like that.
The good ones, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying that.
So Guido von List, he created a philosophy called Ariosophy, and he also was very inspired by Darwin. And Darwin was definitely, I mean, we'll get more into him when we talk about eugenics.
They flipped all that.
They flipped everything. Like these guys, they flip everything, they twist everything. And he believed that World War I was proof that democracy was destroying the world.
Okay. Well, especially because we took out the fucking Kaiser, and like that was what he wrote. All of his stuff was based on the Luntz guy. There was another guy.
Yeah, which we'll get to him in a second.
Yeah, but it was the same thing of like they were like, oh, well, now World War I, we're gonna win World War I, and Germany's gonna unite the whole world. Blah blah blah. We got this thing. I saw it in a psychic vision, and they got their ass handed to him.
Yeah,
and it was all wrong.
I do feel like if we went back in time, we could just talk to Guido von List, and he would just be preparing for his fight against M. Bison. He sounds like a Street Fighter character that was just totally rejected.
Yep. He said, out of World War I, the German millennium will begin. He said, let the German people realize their strength, and they shall not be men, but gods.
Uh-oh.
And he was very inspirational frontline soldiers in World War I. They used to pass around a lot of his writings in the front lines of World War I.
Because that's all because also, again, we'll talk, I mean, we will probably bring it up next episode, but talking about the swastika, he started, his philosophy started getting people on the front lines, like what they would do is they would wear a little swastika talisman. It became a good luck symbol.
Yes.
Already now.
Sure.
Like, and this is 30 years before the Nazi Party. And so it's a long time coming.
Yeah, this
what
is
Hitler wanted.
Very much a long time coming. List also believed in the Amenschaft, which was a society of ancient priest rulers. They preserved the occult knowledge of Aryan ancestors, but Christianity, forced on the Teutons, drove the Amenschaft into hiding. And these traditions
sound like like a farting cartoon family, like a bunch of tomatoes that fart.
Honey, roll up the windows. We're driving through the Teutons territory.
Hey guys.
We don't fart. We have a paper mill. We have a paper mill.
It's a broccoli cloud.
Dude.
The broccoli cloud comes from Mount Poopin'. Oh no, it's not.
Why is Mount Poopin located in Tootentown?
No one will take
it out of Tootentown.
No one will take the gymnasts coming out of Tootentown seriously because they smell of farts. But what about their air dancing?
Unbelievable.
So these traditions and symbols, however, of the Teutons, they were preserved by the Rosicrucians, the Knights Templar, and the Freemasons.
Oh.
Yeah, but the
here
problem
we go.
again is that the Freemasons were technically a Christian establishment.
Well, that's what happens. That later the Nazis would destroy all Masonic lodges, saying that they were controlled by the Jews.
Which is the flippity flop of that, because they weren't at all. But anybody that was anything religious, they just called a Jew.
So
any sort of occult, that's what the Nazis
Right.
eventually did, is that any sort of occult society or belief that wasn't specifically and completely in line with the Nazi occult belief was destroyed.
Because we're going to see.
And when did they start eradicating the Masons and getting rid of their?
That was in the 30s. That was after 33, after Hitler took power.
So World War One. So it was after World War One, though.
Whoa, long after World War
Okay.
One. Yeah, long after. And then this guy Guido von List, he inspired this guy named Jörg Lons von Lebensfels.
Ooh, good name.
Oh yeah, man. He was a former monk and the founder of a magazine called Ostara.
Now, but then Rocky beat him in Rocky IV, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think he was able to beat him. But I mean, I think the guy was cheating a little bit too.
Yeah, and Ostara was the biggest influence on Hitler's racial beliefs, because Ostara was widely circulated in Vienna while Hitler was living as a dirty little artist, living in boarding houses, barely able to feed himself.
And Hitler
Right.
went scrambling around looking for all the back issues of Ostara. And what Ostara was about was that Germany needed to go back to its sort of like its empire days. It needs to be order and power and basically like militarized. And the idea is that like
Right.
there was a pure magic bloodline that meant that Germany was supposed to inherit the world.
Yeah.
And Hitler loved it. Also, because the centerfolds of all the boots, it was just like you'd open up a centerfold.
Oh,
each
that's
month
a good boot. I love that boot. But so basically, it was just a very pro-German magazine that was being circulated
and
for all intents and
very
purposes.
anti-Jew.
Yes, very anti-Semitic. That's like that is mostly the thing that comes through, because they become the scapegoat, because they say like, you know, what you're gonna like. A lot of these philosophies said that it's because the Atlantans started having sex with Jewish people, and that started muddling our abilities. And so because I started going deeper, trying to figure out why was the Jewish race chosen? Why was the Jewish religion chosen to be so maligned? And they were just like, it's just literally out of habit.
Yeah.
It's just like
It
it's
really
because
is.
everybody else did before.
And
There's even a word for blaming Jews. It's called pogroms.
But they were successful in society up to this point. The Jewish people. I mean, they weren't necessarily persecuted. They were able to have, you know, they were having businesses and all that.
At this
stuff.
point in history, I think the biggest pogrom before that would have been the Spanish Inquisition, and before that, it probably would have been the Black Plague, as far as Jews getting blamed for things. But in German society, and German and Austrian society at this point, the Jews were doing great.
Yeah, because I mean that was the whole thing. But I don't know why it started with the Jews, but what it used to happen way back in the old Bible days, you know, they would get kicked out and they would just have to go through everybody's trash. That's the only thing they could use, and they would refurbish everything. They would go to market and resell people the things they threw away. So they were just naturally like in business.
No, it's
and they were also banned from being in a lot of manufacturing type of jobs and being in a lot of trades and things like that. So that's how the Jewish people came to be to sorts of things like finance. And,
basically the Nazi Party came out of a group of butthurt assholes that had a chip on their shoulder that like basically made everything happen, and it's just watching what happened. Like it's like if Gamergate got sponsored by a fucking army.
I still don't know what Gamergate is, but I'm not trying to get into it.
So, actually, Luntz claimed that Hitler visited him in 1909 looking for back issues, and Hitler...
dork.
Yeah,
Get up.
this is
why
what
John
he was.
Steinbeck went into solitude, because everyone kept on going up to him and trying to talk to him about things. Leave the guy alone, Hitler.
And Hitler later claimed in Mein Kampf that these years in Austria were the most vital years of his life, and that he learned everything that he needed to know to lead the Nazi Party during these years.
Okay. Oh, because he would spread the magazines around his men's boarding houses.
Yeah.
And again, it's just there's this weird phenomenon. It's like Hitler's this annoying, severe fucker who
doesn't
walks
look
around,
Aryan at all.
Doesn't look Aryan at all. Really brown hair and stuff. And he's handing out these magazines. And then it's like all of a sudden, I bet people are just like, oh, I'm so fucking sick of it. It's Adolf Hitler is everywhere. And then all of a sudden he's in charge. And they're like, what the fuck? And then you have this like bitter nerd who's just like, everyone who ever gave me the splashy splash of the toilet water when I was in the men's boarding room goes to the camps. And
Go to the camps.
You, Brandon, and you, Tucker, you are going to the camps. Oh, you'll never give me a veggie again, will you?
I mean, all you have to do is consistently tell people that you're right, and eventually they're going to come around. I'm sure there's somebody in this country right now who does believe the Whopper is the best hamburger in the world. I'm sure of it.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
You tell me you're better than the king of goddamn burgers?
I mean, I can't argue with that.
You know that the Burger King himself was chosen by God. His blood lineage.
I drink the king of beers. I eat the king of Whopper. And that's
But I do use Hunt's ketchup because it's cheaper.
Yeah. Didn't vote for John Kerry, though. Don't worry.
So Luntz, he actually got fucked over by Hitler after Hitler came into power. Because when Austria got annexed by Nazi Germany in 1938, Luntz thought he had it fucking made. Because this Hitler guy had been loved his readings, espousing his ideas all over the place. But as soon as Hitler took over, he banned all issues of Astara from
He wanted all the credit for it.
He wanted all the credit, absolutely. And after the war, Luntz, finally after Hitler was deposed, he got a little mouthy. He said that Hitler not only stole but corrupted his idea, and he also accused him of being, quote, inferior racial stuff.
And guess where that gets you? In the concentration camp.
That's why he waited until after the war to say anything.
After WW2, Luntz got a little revenge.
Yeah.
It's because he fucking, he got like that survivor's guilt.
I will say not the best at throwing zingers out there. He is part of the inferior.
But I mean, to be honest, he already he fucked up because in 1904 he published fucking theozoology.
Yeah. Then theozoology could be said to be the Nazi party religion.
And that's exactly what they chose.
That was like Theo Huxtable type.
Theozoology.
Yeah.
You got to take your Jews and you got to take your gypsies and you got to cut their penises off.
Well, I know he's black and he's telling us that we should hate all blacks, but I believe him.
It's the Aryan race that's got the superior knowledge, you see, because they were chosen by God and they came from Mars, you see.
It's almost equivalent because at this point, tan whites and pale whites didn't like each other.
No.
So it is almost the exact same as Hitler.
Adolf Cosby.
Adolf Cosby. And now you could argue who's having a worse PR year.
You got to say the God mentioned the God men of the superior race. They deserve to have all the gold in the world. Kill the Jews, you see.
Well, give that man a sitcom.
Well, Luntz, he didn't want to kill the Jews. He just wanted to ship them all off to Madagascar.
But the problem is in Madagascar, and he was just like, they will literally pick bananas and send them to us because German people love bananas.
Madagascar's a fun place. Lemurs are talking, elephants are hanging out with rhinos. I've seen the movie.
Birds and the penguins in that.
I know the documentary. I watched it. Madagascar.
Yep. He also advocated for the sterilization of the sick and the lower races, as well as forced labor for castrated shandals. And of course, he believed in the Gottenmenschen, as Adolf Cosby mentioned. And he said that the Atlanteans split between the pure Aryan and beast Jewish races. He said the decline of the Germanic people came from bestiality with the lower races. As Henry said earlier, by breeding with their inferiors, the Aryans diluted their blood and lost all of their psychic abilities.
And growing up very religious, my parents used to always discuss sterilization and eugenics and how that was the beginning of birth control and how this is where it all started. This is where, basically what happened with birth control was like people started to sterilize themselves and the government no longer had to do it because technology advanced. But that's where it all comes from.
That's like straight up wrong, though, right?
Not real. I mean, the science is actually very similar. It's obviously.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
But the problem is, I don't even mean to laugh going into the statement. But when I started watching this again, when we say all this shit, this shit is nutty.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
The whole thing's bonkers.
You know, it's like, it's total garbage. They managed to do it.
Yeah.
They managed to take it from this wackadoo philosophy and made it and that's, I was like thinking about this today. It's like if Jeffrey Dahmer had an army, if Jeffrey Dahmer had a fucking panel of admirals and advisors, and it's like, but it's that idea of like, you can, like, if think about if Hitler, because Hitler started going nuttier later on the line, but if he started believing we can make a bunch of fuck zombies out of these Jews, and instead of instead of making the concentration camps be like, how far of a leap is it from just gassing them than it is to like drilling holes in their heads and trying to fuck them in a field.
I think BTK would be better.
Yes.
I think Dahmer is like, he's still just like at the same time just like, well, but if you could just get me some cheese and some beer,
Dahmer has
like,
a problem.
okay.
Yeah, he can't really be a leader.
No, he's in his heart of hearts, you know. I just want to have a good sandwich.
Yeah. Well, Luntz, he was also the one that came up with the idea for breeding camps using Aryans as stock, and he called the women in the breeding camps called them brood mothers,
and they loved it.
Was this a reward for somebody to be like, oh, I did all my homework today, I'm going to the fuck camps, I'll see you later.
I got to stick my dick in the hole, and I hope that I have the blondest child. And then I get a chocolate, and then I get to go to university where I learn racial biology.
Oh, interesting. Man, they just love a camp for everything, huh?
Oh,
Yes.
man.
This guy, everything was way organized. Everything had a fucking roll call.
Right.
And Luntz, of course, huge nerd. To him, the Knights of the Round Table and the legend of the Holy Grail were very, very real to this guy. He believed that the search for the Holy Grail was, in fact, the search for racial purity. And in 1907, he founded the Order of the New Templars, and this movement was supposed to further the racial self-confidence by doing pedigree and racial research, beauty contests, and the founding of racist future sites in underdeveloped parts of the earth. And the rituals that they performed were all based on monastic teachings, but they also used Luntz's own songs, prayers, and readings that he wrote himself.
Oh, that's convenient.
I'm sure his songs were really, really
But
good.
this style is what's going to go on later to be used to pick the SS.
Yeah.
The SS are heavily pedigreed.
Oh, yeah. All the prospective marriages in this society were racially vetted. And he was quoted as saying, "Parliaments will no longer decide our fates. In their place will be the wise priest kings of the secret orders."
So this is like 1907. This is all, you know. So he was a very famous person, this Luntz guy.
In certain circles. I mean, he's famous like how Henry's famous.
Oh, I see.
Do this to me. Don't put me. Don't say I'm York Luntz famous.
So he would have like 3,000 Twitter followers, and like one day I'm gonna make it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, one day I'll be able to sell a TV show, but from now I'll do guest spots in people's houses being a priest king and seeing how white they are.
Right. Okay.
Hey there, everybody. I want to talk to you about horticulture. Yeah. Did you know that Fast Growing Trees is America's largest and most trusted online nursery? I did it. I got trees from them. I got bushes to cover up that stinky wall that my neighbor has in my house. It looks good. It's really going nice. But last year, I got an avocado tree, and woo, doggy, she grow fast. She grow real fast. It's budding already. It's been a year. Usually it takes a little bit longer than that. You know what? I don't even know if that's true or not. But it is budding, and it is growing. And you know what I did was I rent. I don't own my home, so I put it in a pot so I can take it with me, and it could be with me for the rest of my life. And now I got avocados forever. And just like Forrest Gump says, that's one less thing. All right, so go on to Fast Growing Trees and get yourself a tree that you want to see get tall super quick. Right now, they have great details on spring planting essentials, up to half off on select plants. And listeners to our show get 20% off their first purchase when using the code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. FastGrowingTrees.com.
This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. You know, stigma shows up in a lot of different places. I know I had to explain to my handyman about the devil imagery in my home, I had to explain that in our home, El Diablo es bueno. And he reluctantly agreed. I think largely just because he was in my home and he was scared. But over time, he began to see, the devil can be my amigo. See, even in 2026, stigma can get in the way of a lot of things, right? My handyman almost didn't put up my floating media cabinet, right? You gotta get support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking the first step yourself because you're busy, worried what others will think, or telling yourself you should handle it alone. No, you need a team. Get therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform. Give me a space to slow down and talk through what's building before it feels unmanageable. So let's take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of ethics and are fully qualified. So don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
It's summertime, baby. And you know what that means. You're going to go to Quince and you're going to get yourself some new clothes. Something happened to me by accident recently. I had a nice little Quince mistake. It was Father's Day and we wanted to get Julie's dad something nice. So naturally we went to Quince. We looked around and we were like, oh, look at this 100% organic cotton mesh stitch button-up sweater polo. I think Bob's really going to like this. So we get it, and we buy it, and then you know what happened? A little fudge, a little mistake. Accidentally sent it to our house instead of Bob's house. Julie's like, oh, I'll just get a refund from Quince, and we'll mail Bob another one. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds nice. But, maybe I should just see it first. She pulls it out. I was like, whoa, look at that. It's like a button-down polo with nice little holes in it. It's breathable. It's not bad. I think I'm going to wear this to Jazz Fest this weekend. Wore it to Jazz Fest. Got 3 comments. One was by a lady. Not bad, Quince. So get your hiney over to quince.com and treat yourself good and feel good. Look good this summer. Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/last for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. It gets hot up there. That's QUINCE.com/last for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/last. Look like a prince in your Quince, you jerks.
So let's catch up with our man Hitler.
All right.
So Hitler...
No one wants to come to my birthday party. I have sent several invitations out. Do you not know that RSVPing is very important to deciding how much crab cake I need to make?
It is a very important thing. What year are we going to?
We're going way back into, let's say him about 15 years old. So we're going back.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah.
So his beliefs expanded throughout his encounters with various mystics and occultists throughout the years, but it all began with one young boy's power fantasies involving medieval times and opera.
Oh, wow.
He supposedly had visions of his destiny as the savior of his people starting at the age of 15.
Mother, I know when I grow older, I will be, the new Jesus Christ. And if you don't believe me, I will send you to the camps.
What are you talking about with these camps?
More casserole, please.
All right.
I will have a second helping until I will go do my homework.
Right. So basically, he's Stewie from...
So August Kubizek said in his memoir, Young Hitler, the story of our friendship. That actual book that was published.
Okay.
He said he conjured up in grandiose and inspiring pictures his own future and that of his people. He was talking of a mandate which one day he would receive from the people to lead them from servitude to the heights of freedom, a special mission which would one day be entrusted to him.
And this is what is now known as The Secret. If you read The Secret, picture your future.
Picture it. Think about it.
Yep. And Hitler studied all these Nordic and Teutonic mythology and folklore stories, and he worshipped Wagner.
Wagner was the touched Wagner. They're like, hey, I'm Wagner. I'm Wagner. You will not be the talented one.
All right. You know what? In the end, I'm okay with it because I just like to sweep with my broom.
All right. Very good.
So Hitler worshipped Wagner as the supreme prophet of the German people. Wagner was the guy who wrote like Ride of the Valkyries. He did The Ring. The character Parsifal, however, was the most important one to Hitler. Wagner adapted Parsifal from a medieval legend in which Parsifal was the Aryan Christ figure. Hitler said, out of Parsifal, I make a religion.
And the way they did it too is that he went to Wagner's house in a really nerdy fucking field trip. He went to his house and like Hitler like begged to be let into Wagner's like room. And as I guess we've gotten to know about Hitler is that like if he really wants something, he can be real annoying until he gets it.
He just gets it. That's right.
And so they like let him into Wagner's bedroom and he went there and he wept, and that's when he had his vision of being the ruler of Germany.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is like if someone made a religion out of, I don't know, Firefly or something.
Yeah, if someone was really into fucking what's that movie? What's that show with the girl who had the hair? They were debating about her hair. Felicity.
Felicity is a hell of a show.
So in Parsifal, Richard Wagner, he identified the Holy Spear, the Spear of Destiny. With the two items that appear in the medieval poem Parsifal, a bleeding spear in the castle of the Grail, and the spear that has wounded the Fisher King. And the opera's plot concerns the consequences of the spear's loss by the Knights of the Grail and its recovery by Parsifal. And having decided that the blood on the spear was that of the wounded savior, Wagner has the blood manifest itself in the spear rather than on the spearhead. As Henry said earlier, the Spear of Destiny was supposedly the spear that the Roman soldier pierced into Christ's side in a moment of mercy. And supposedly the powers of the Spear of Destiny rival those of the Holy Grail. The legend associated with it says that whoever claims it and solves its secrets holds the destiny of the world in his hands for good or evil, but losing it would bring immediate death.
Now,
that's what I pretend is happening every time I play with the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is there a Rubik's Cube on the end of it or something? Like what do you mean solve it?
I can't get all the colors right. You can just heat it up and take off the sticker.
That's what we were doing. Yeah, we talked about it the other day. The other thing is, also maybe the secret is hey guys, it's just a stick.
That's good. That was interesting, though, that you mentioned the merciful stabbing of Jesus. A lot of people assume that the person is just trying to hurt him more. No. It was just so he could suffocate faster.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought they were doing it to check if he was dead, to see if he was done like a piece of fucking pork.
No, they weren't. You never know. I don't think he would be a piece of pork anyway. He was Jewish. If anything, maybe a piece of turkey.
Pork is the closest thing to human meat, and a steak you can just touch it by softness. You can tell if it's medium or rare or something.
Right.
But pork, you got to fucking cut right in there.
Yeah, and you have to be careful. Make sure to cook your pork. No
absolutely.
Raw pork. No.
So the Spear of Destiny actually does have a long, varied military history. Charlemagne the Great carried it through 47 battles, but he supposedly died immediately after dropping the relic into a stream.
That's not real, though, right?
It might be.
Who knows?
So is that, that's the proof that we'll use today? Just like, no one said it ain't.
That's right.
And supposedly Napoleon sought the spear and its powers, but it was smuggled to Vienna out of his reach.
Napoleon was also afraid of cats.
Yeah, and a lot of things were out of his reach. Very nubby hands.
And the spear itself was kept in what was called the treasure house in Vienna, and it was...
Which sounds like a strip club.
Yeah, the treasure house for sure. It's also a very obvious place to hide everything that's important.
Yeah, just like, why didn't you call it like Martha's room or something that no one wants to go into, and have a big woman outside being like, y'all want to come in here because I'm showing my pussy at 2 o'clock.
The name of the place, I think we're going to call it The Things You Should Want to Steal, and we're going to put everything important in there.
And it's great, and we'll make it all glass.
Yeah, perfect.
And 4 doorknobs at every door.
That's great.
In case you missed one.
No locks because we trust people.
Well, Hitler did take the spear when he annexed annexed this is the funny thing about the spear. One of the weird things about the spear is because there is a lot of this mystical stuff surrounding it, but it is historical fact that when Hitler annexed Austria, one of the first things he did was go to the treasure house in Vienna and take the spear and take it back to Nuremberg, which was said to be the spiritual center of Nazi Germany.
Yeah, which is why he held all his rallies there, and they were holding there with like literally hundreds of swastikas, all fucking imbuing the power of victory.
In the famous rally at Nuremberg that was filmed by Riefenstahl, Triumph of the Will, over 36,000 swastikas were represented in that.
Triumph of the Will, you'll discover, you're going to hear that statement a lot.
Yeah.
That is the Nazi magical sentence. That is this idea of like triumph of the will. We will use our will to oppress others, and it's really great for either taking over countries or getting a return at LL Bean, because they fight you.
They
fight you. They're always asking why you're returning,
Right.
and you really got to have a Hitler-esque determination to get your $60 back.
Triumph of the will. LL Bean is one of the worst. Yeah.
So there was a guy named Buchner. He was a very respectable man. He's written 2 books about the Spear of Destiny. He said that he was contacted by a former U-boat submariner and the pseudonym Captain Wilhelm Bernhardt. He claims that the spear that is currently on display in Vienna is a fake. For Bernhardt said that the real spear was sent by Hitler to Antarctica with other Nazi treasure.
Where they were working on their disc ships because they've been working with the Greys several times, trading technology back and forth. Because you remember in Antarctica, they had the super secret Nazi base where only the whitest of the white and the biggest breasted women went, because they were making brooding circles there. And when it was when Germany, it was his summer home.
Oh,
he was going to be, after they won the war, he was going to go to Antarctica. And then.
But isn't it cold? It's quite cold in Antarctica.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's summer. It's summer.
Oh, but
summer
it's still
home.
cold, though.
He loves the cold.
Oh, I see.
And the other one is, and then the true castle he did have is in like 2 hours north of Los Angeles on the beaches of California.
Wow.
There is a half-made Nazi temple that fucking all of the fucking sympathizers over here in America were building for Hitler.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's totally real. You see a gigantic swastika carved into a mountain, waiting for Hitler so he can get his fucking grapefruit and start surfing.
Waiting for Hitler, like Godot.
So let's get to World War I now. And when World War I begins, the people of Europe, for the most part, fucking love it, because it really creates a sense of militant nationalism in a lot of these different countries. Because at this time, Europe is very fragmented. There's been, so many wars going on back and forth, so everyone wants a country of their own, especially Germany. Germany wants to bring Austria and Germany back together to bring it to a whole Germanic nation.
There's many German-born Austrians, people that are native Germans that live in Austria that feel that they are being rejected by the Slavic government. And so they're getting this chip on their shoulder. But now we're seeing with World War I, it was this huge call to arms. We're going to fucking do this. But Germany's got this huge army, way organized. You got the Kaiser. He's looking good with his mustache, his big fucking hat. And then they got their asses handed to him. And the whole thing got carved up. And then the bitterness is what made the World War II happen with fucking Hitler and his fucking crybaby antics.
Yep. Well, Hitler, looking to bind himself to Germany, he goes and enlists in the Bavarian army. He spends 45 months fighting in 36 major battles. He gets the Iron Cross twice, and there is some debate as to what Hitler actually did. Yeah. Some say that he was an extremely brave message runner that they called the Austrian.
And they also said, again, he was aloof. Yeah. He was not a fun guy. Like, he wasn't like the joking guy hanging out. He was always a pain in the ass.
Always a pain in the ass.
Right.
But when he would talk sometimes about his racial beliefs in the trenches, there were some people who listened. Definitely were some people who were saying, fucking right on, man.
Because people had already been hearing this line of thought for about 15 years. Yeah. They'd already been blaming the bad luck of the German people on the Jewish people. And he was just kind of reiterating it. And he's got all these fucking Ostara magazines in his fucking backpack that he brought all the way to the war.
Mm-hmm. Good to have something to read out there.
So the Germans lose. The conspiracy theories begin. They say the capitalists stabbed us in the back, but most importantly, the Jews stabbed us in the back. That was the big phrase going around Germany at the time. Stabbed in the back. The Kaiser, who was thought to be the supreme example of aristocratic blood, of Aryan blood, he falls. Germany goes democratic. All of these occult societies, they can't believe what's going on.
They carved up the whole place. The Weimar Republic happens. All of this like crazy shit. Like now Germany goes from being the Germanic ideal, which is total organized, like fucking empirical crazy shit, to being a total chaotic mess.
Yeah.
And out of this comes the thing, the fucking birth nest of the Nazi Party, which is the secret occult society known as the Thule Society.
The Thule
It's
Society.
a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm for
really
somebody like Hitler to rise to power.
Because of all of this bitterness, they're looking to the occult. Now they're looking to, like, let's use magic, let's use this kind of thing, ritual, and the Thule Society is exactly that.
You have it on every level. Politically, it works out. You have a victim, which is the German people in their eyes. You have the aggressors, which is the Jews. Then you have the religious people who can look to these, look to these writings and teachings. It's a perfect political storm to get Hitler into power.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the Thule Society, they were a secret society that was an offshoot of the German order. They were the Berlin Lodge of the German order. Thule comes from the word Thule, which is the name for the legendary Aryan homeland. They said that the truly initiated could establish contact with the Aryan beings, the beings of Thule, by means of magic, mystical rituals. The masters or ancients allegedly will be able to endow the initiated with supernatural strength and energy, and with the help of these energies, the goal of the initiated was to create a race of supermen of Aryan stock who would exterminate all inferior races.
And if this was written by Alan Moore, it would be a great comic.
Yes, absolutely.
The story
That's what I'm
is
saying.
very engaging, especially to a young, disenfranchised German Ute.
It's comic book nerds run amok. It's like if fucking D&D was real. They think it's real. They think it's happening. And then the cookie do side of this story is that the idea also is that there was a German chancellor in China that was doing a sort of visiting thing there. And we talked about this with the Palladians episode and a couple of things about this group called the Green Society he met, which is a group of monks in China who believed that they...
Wait, was that racist? Monks in China?
No.
Okay.
What?
No.
I don't know. I'm making a joke. Monks in China just sounds racist.
It kind of does.
Monks in China
it's
just
not.
sounds like a Wisconsin enclave. It's like, hey, welcome to Monkston. I don't know how we got to China.
Monks in China, yeah.
And so they went, and it's a group of monks who believe they speak to a panel of dragons, quote unquote, possible reptilians, that told them about the coming of the Aryan race and that they need to do whatever they can to help them. And basically, they sent all of this information from this German chancellor who went to the Thule Society and basically gave them all this stuff, and that this is just direct on tap from fucking David Icke's fucking iguana's friends.
Well, these people were serious about their Aryan
Quite
lineage.
serious.
Extremely.
Yeah, I don't think we need to have that caveat in there.
no.
I think we know
this
that.
is how serious they were about this and how fucking precise they were about it. In order to be a member of the Thule Society, you had to date your Aryan lineage back to the 30 Years' War, which ended in 1650. You had to prove that you are pure Aryan from 1650 until 1910.
And then they would also measure your head to see if your head was the proper size, like legitimately, and you didn't have any lumps on
I
it.
just had a bad doctor at birth. That's why my count was a bad doctor.
You go to the camps!
Oh, man.
You couldn't even be ugly. You had to
Unless you were Hitler.
Unless you were Hitler.
Hitler had one way to survive his own policy was to
by
be the
being
leader.
Hitler.
That's it.
Well, one member of the Thule Society, he decided to extend his influence into the lower classes, and he founded a discussion group that eventually evolved into the Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, which means German Workers' Party.
Yeah, and they would just hang out and talk about shit. And then the German army sent Hitler in to be a spy on them because he thought it was like, they literally thought it was a sort of like liberal group because they call it a workers' party. They thought they were all talking about bullshit. But Hitler goes in there.
This is all serendipity, by the way.
I picture Hitler in a French fresh maid outfit, and you're just,
Oof, it's so dusty in here. Does no one use any of these books? Then why do you have them? It's so, you need to get rid of your clutter. Wait a second. What was that about the Jews? Oof, I'm sorry, I've never been a mate at all. My name is Adolf Hitler.
Yes, and it's said that the Thule Society, the people who created the German Workers' Party, have been searching for a German messiah who would unite Germany after the humiliating defeat of World War I.
I don't want to step on any toes, but it seems to me that maybe I'm him, I don't know.
Well, the German Workers' Party had a lot of occultists in its group that were very influential to Hitler and his occult beliefs. The first one was Dietrich Eckart. He was the wealthy publisher and editor-in-chief of an anti-Semitic journal which he called In Plain German.
Which is actually written in very complex German, which is very ironic.
He was also a committed occultist and a master of magic. And as an initiate...
But we're talking about like David Copperfield.
David Copperfield, yeah. He expressed his anticipation of the German Messiah in a poem he wrote months before he first met Hitler. In the poem, Eckhart refers to the Great One, the Nameless One, and whom all can sense, but no one saw.
But I just don't really understand. So all these people met Hitler, and they're immediately like, this is the fucking Bobby Bonilla of the Nazi Party.
From the very first time that he spoke, he went to the meeting for the very first time. He just kind of hung in the back, and then somebody that was speaking mentioned something about Bavaria, about how Bavaria needs to go off and do their own thing. But Hitler comes in and does this impromptu speech about how Germany, Austria, Bavaria, everything should be united. How we
must have one single living room. We all get together one night a week, finally have dinner together. We'll sit, we will watch some Scrubs, and we will have a good time and play some board games.
I love that idea.
But no, they watch it. Basically, he came out with the whole party line. Like, he just spit out the Nazi party line, and they're all like, holy shit.
Yeah, these Thule Society guys are like, this is exactly who we're looking for. And in fact, the Thule Society, they assigned another, I guess, spiritualist magician type to Hitler to develop his speaking abilities, because he had a natural speaking ability. He knew how to captivate people, but he did have a very learned teacher teach him how to orate.
Well, and I wonder what was Del Close doing back then, the founder of improv.
Well, we all know that Del Close is the secret teacher of all of these people who act at quote-unquote Sandy Hook, quote-unquote the Boston Marathon, these quote-unquote tragedies that these quote-unquote survivors are quote-unquote crying at. Del Close is the man behind the entire movement.
Yes, and everybody.
That was the other thing too, is that he was a theater teacher was assigned to him.
Yeah,
he had a theater teacher, and you ever seen those pictures of him practicing?
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing. It's very hilarious.
And this is so common, not to get all top hatty, but Rick Perry just signed the number one theater teacher in the country to help him with his debates. This is what politicians have done forever.
He's going to lose.
Yes, because at the end of the day,
because I don't need him to go like, like big frowny face with like a limp fucking flower, like an old-timey sad clown every time he sat.
But back then, larger theatrics worked.
Had to, because of so they didn't have talkies yet.
Exactly.
So Eckhart, he exerted more influence over Hitler personally, probably more than any other person in the Nazi party. In fact, Hitler ended Mein Kampf with the words, "And I want to recognize among Nazi heroes that man who, as one of the best, by words and by thoughts and finally by deeds, dedicated his life to the awakening of our nation, Dietrich Eckart."
His theater teacher.
I also love this. I love the Eckhart lay dying. He wrote, "Follow Hitler, he will dance, but it is I who have called the tune. I have initiated him into the secret doctrine, opened his centers in vision, and given him the means to communicate with the powers. Do not mourn for me. I shall have influence history more.
Just die. The ego of these theater teachers is
chosen poorly.
Well, Eckhart wasn't the theater teacher.
Oh,
the
he
theater
wasn't.
teacher was a different guy. Eckhart was
okay.
just close buddy.
Yeah, Eckhart was the magician he met at the Thule
right,
Society
right,
meeting.
right.
Well, they're all hanging around the fucking donut holes.
The David
like eating
Blaine,
donut holes. Says, oof, I've never had a donut hole. And sometimes, it's the best part about a donut hole is that sometimes I'm not in the mood for a whole donut.
Right, yeah.
It said that line right there was evidence that Eckhart put Hitler in a communication with dark forces that may have indeed possessed the future Fuhrer.
And he's talking about the two songwriters that wrote the powerful song Fireworks and also Teenage Dream.
Oh, man, I love those Katy Perry songs.
People behind Katy
She didn't
Perry.
write those songs?
No.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
man.
And there were a couple other guys, too. There was Alfred Rosenberg. He was inspired by the Protocols of the Elders of Zion and introduced it to Hitler.
Which is a fake pamphlet that was written by the Russian government in the early 1900s. It basically said the Jewish people were the problem again. And they found out that they thought it was real, and it was a real scientific thing saying the Jewish people were inferior to white people, but it was fake. Mm-hmm. Of course. They're all fake. It's all fake.
It's all fake. Then there was Karl Haushofer, who was really big into Lebensreform. Or he was a big believer in Lebensraum, which is a belief that the East belonged to the German people.
Living room.
The living room. Yeah, that's pretty much why Hitler started with Poland. And why they started to move east throughout all of those countries, because they believed...
The big thing was that they could go into Poland because they can walk in backwards and tell them that they were leaving.
That's true. If we go in after 4 p.m., they'll be drunk. It'll be great. Yeah.
And then probably the biggest one, the one that a lot of you probably have heard of, Rudolf Hess. He was Hitler's second in command from 1933 until 1941. And in this party, Hitler found a group that shared the same opinions that he had been reading about in Ostara, talking to other World War I vets about for years. Within months, Hitler was the head of propaganda. Within a year, the DAP had swelled from 7 members to 3,000, and the DAP had a new name, the National Sozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterparty, a.k.a. Nazi Party.
Wow.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it was not a fun party.
Not a fun,
and Rudolph was like, none of these guys looked fun. They were all pretty much dickheads.
Oh, man.
They all looked mean.
Jesus Christ, just wait until we get to Heinrich Himmler on the next you want to talk about the ultimate fucking evil nerd.
Yeah. He was the fucking guy. He was the concentration camp fucking architect.
Yeah, but he was you know what he was before that? A chicken farmer with stomach problems.
The Heimlich maneuver? Is that...
Heinrich.
Okay.
Himmler.
Himmler. Oh, the Himmler, yeah.
God, Heimlich.
God, I'll tell you, that is
Heinrich.
funny. Walking backwards, tell them they're leaving. That is funny.
So we'll come back in next episode. We're gonna get straight into eugenics.
It's gonna get pretty hairy.
It's gonna get really hairy. We're gonna get into the SS. We're gonna get into Heinrich Himmler. Some of the wacky occult hijinks that the Nazis tried during World War I. None of which worked.
I don't know if the words wacky or hijinks is right.
Wacky, just in terms of
insane.
like wackier than what we do.
Yeah. Much wackier than what we do.
Yeah. Wow, awesome. What a great episode. Super informative and amazing. That starting from 1890 all the way up.
I know it's going to just remind you again, you know what? We still fucking got him. Killed Hitler.
Still got him.
They're dead. They're all dead. Well, except for the one that they just found that was over in Argentina.
Yeah, he
there's
lived
a
in
couple.
98 now.
Yeah,
He was in Syria.
He was doing great. He was eating empanadas. But
He murdered.
Some slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, he murdered a lot of people in Syria.
Yeah, we
kept on going.
Never caught Mengele either.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
We do.
And then there was all those Nazis that we brought over here at Operation Paperclip.
We ended the war. We
The
ended
war
it.
is done, yeah. So that was good.
Well, I mean, technically, Russia ended the war.
We got the
There's a bunch of
Japanese
good things that we did, though.
We
Yeah,
did some stuff.
Then we got. And don't forget about Pearl Harbor.
bomb.
We got that,
bomb.
yeah,
We got the
yeah.
bomb. I mean, we didn't really get Germany or Japan through.
But we were
Russia.
sending a message, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got our feelings felt. My grandfather was in Italy.
Yeah. So he was just slamming down pizzas.
My great uncle was in the Bataan Death March.
So think
Survived.
about that.
Yeah.
That's not the march you want to be in.
No. I like the month
So
of March.
when you say we're going to the death march, what does that mean? As it sounds. Okay.
Can I
I'm gonna
skip it?
I want to do the Alive March that my buddy is
It's the
going to go.
Alive March because we're going to take the Alive March over to the Second Chance Saloon and we're going to have some beers and then we're going to go watch Rocky 3.
No. Death March it is for you. All right, everybody. Let's do a Hail Yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Helgeen.
Hail Satan. Satan would have done something about this because God didn't do fuck about stopping the Nazis.
Ooh, he
Right.
truly did not. You know, the Spear of Destiny, it said in DC Comics lore that the reason why Superman and Green Lantern and Batman, the reason why they couldn't involve themselves in World War II was because Hitler held the Spear of Destiny.
That's all it took?
That's all it took.
Not such a Superman after all.
Me gustalations.
And yeah, go the t-shirts, of course.
Yeah, cavecomedyradio.com/last podcast on the left is where you can get your Last Podcast on the Left t-shirt. We're going to be coming to England, of course, in late March. Go to gigsandtours.com and search Last Podcast on the Left to get your tickets for that. Go join the Facebook page. Everyone over there is being very nice right now.
Yeah.
Our listener, big listener, Cooper Borg, he got, I think, beat up and got his laptop and all kinds of shit stolen. They're doing a little donation for him, which is very sweet.
Which is really very cool.
Yeah,
It was
very
unbelievable.
cool.
They asked for $200, and within 8 hours, I think he had $450 donated. It was really sweet, and it's good for the group because, you know, the more success we get, there's going to be some people saying, why would you make jokes about such serious subjects? And then we need these pieces of evidence to prove that we're very
we're
good
cool,
people.
we're good, we're
very
nice.
good people.
We're fine. They're dead. They did a GoFundMe. I think if you just go to GoFundMe.
Yeah, and it just really sucks that I guess, you know, we're losing some of our edginess.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
we're not edgy enough for some people, but those people can suck my balls.
Suck my balls. I think everything is fine.
But if you're able to listen, get well soon, Cooper. Everyone's pulling for you, buddy.
Hail Satan again. Hail me now.
Yeah. Talk to you soon. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Rate and review on iTunes.
Oh, there we go.
For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to cavecomedyradio.com.
Feeling stuck with rising ad costs and flat results? Realize Taboola's advertising platform for businesses unlocks growth beyond search and social. Taboola's algorithm engages with high-intent users on the open web, accelerating their path to conversion. Powered by an AI model trained on over 500 billion monthly signals, Realize delivers smarter prospecting with privacy-safe targeting. The result? Higher conversion rates and scalable funnel at lower cost. To learn more, visit realize.com/podcast. You've tried melatonin, the white noise machine, the blackout curtains, the magnesium, and you're sleeping fine. Not great, just fine. At some point, you have to consider the 4-year-old pillow is doing more damage than the magnesium is fixing. Coop Sleep Goods is running a bundle sale July 9th through the 20th. The starter bundle is the move. 2 pillows plus a sheet set, 40% off. And we're not saying it'll fix everything. We're just saying you've tried everything else. Coop's pillows are adjustable, designed to fit how you sleep, not just tolerate it. Mix and match any 2 pillows at 25% off or go all in on the starter bundle. One real upgrade beats 6 mediocre ones. Head to coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy for 40% off the starter bundle and 25% off all other bundles.